Living, structured soil, the world's most valuable resource.
Hi, I'm John Morris, owner and founder of AgriSentials. AgriSentials have pioneered New Zealand volcanic rock as a fertiliser blended with fish, seaweed and other natural ingredients, culminating in a fertiliser that is full of life, minerals and paramagnetic energy. Life begins and ends in the soil.
AgriSentials.
Well, now we've learnt the art of curved glass. Let's have a look at some of the bits that you make here.
Oh, here's a couple of pieces under here that I'm working on. You know, I just started getting going on the clear glass sculptures when I actually done a job for a place in Wellington, and as I'd done it, I realised that all the offcuts were a beautiful shape.
Yep.
You know, and I realised very quickly that I was going to have 80 of those offcuts all the same.
Yep.
So I thought, well, you know, it's like I've started cutting out something else. So,
All right.
so I saved those 80 pieces for a rainy day and thought I'll come in one day and do something with those. I'm sure there's going to be something I can do with those.
Yeah.
So I did that in 3 months or so. I grabbed the first two pieces out and put them together and realised this beautiful Gothic shape
Yeah.
that the two of them had.
Yes.
So I ended up with a Gothic arch in the centre and then these sharp pinnacles, which
Just
remind you
on
of like a cathedral.
Yes, I was going to say that cathedral. That.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I made that piece, and this isn't it. This is about the fourth or fifth maybe in the series, and you can see even these two are different. So from each piece you tend to not necessarily make an improvement, but just change the scale and change the size, change, because you've always got this problem in your back of your mind that's there from the first time you had the idea.
Yes.
You just keep going to decide whether you've actually solved the problem or not.
Right.
It's a funny
Yes.
way of
And
explaining
how is it being fused to stay together like that?
These were all glued with a very high strength glass
Right.
construction glue. In America now they're actually using this glue to build buildings, and there's actually buildings in Hawera and New Plymouth here that have the hinges glued on with this exact glue, and you've probably walked in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And wonder why there's no bolt.
That's right, it sticks to the hinges and sticks to metal. But what happened here is when I made this piece here, and I actually won a Taranaki Art Award with it, the original piece I made, I realised that the offcuts were just as important. And I've been doing stained glass for a long time and recognising the offcuts were as beautiful as the original piece, but the offcuts were so small, you throw them away and there was only one offcut. Whereas I realised the potential to use offcuts
Yeah.
for projects.
Yeah.
So ever since then I've made sure that I know what the offcut's going to be and try and put it to some use.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a green thing. It's more just because it's like I've got a crazy apprentice
Yes.
working with me.
Yeah.
You know, you end up with this piece made from pieces as opposed to something that you planned from a drawing.
Yeah.
So this has really started a lot for me.
Yes. And that's part of the aspect of landscaping too, isn't it? You take something out of one area and you've got a shape or a curve that you either replicate that, it becomes the...
That's right.
Yes.
Yes, I'm learning a lot about landscaping.
Yes.
Learning a lot about landscaping.
Yes. Now,
Right.
these pieces, inside, outside...
These ones are inside. Yeah, the majority of them are inside.
Yeah.
I'm starting to do quite a few more outside ones now because, I mean, you know, the light looks fantastic
Yes.
on the glass. And I have shown some of my pieces in outdoor displays and realised the difference of the effect. I like the changing character of them.
Yeah.
You know, I prefer them inside
Yes.
because they get a darker, cooler, you know, a darker, shadier part of the day,
Yeah.
and then the sun comes to them and you get another
Yeah.
character. Sometimes outside you just might have too much of that one
Yes.
full-on light.
Right. Yes. Although, with a bit of ageing, allowing lichens and mosses and
certainly.
stuff to
Yeah.
grow on them
Yeah,
is
and I mean, like you say, it's about placement
Yep.
because your landscape can change and grow around it. And there's a piece in the garden that I have that when I made it for a show, and because I was the only one that actually treated it like a commission and made a piece for a certain area in the show, I won the show.
Yeah,
I felt
yep.
a bit like I was cheating, really,
Yes.
because I, you know, actually treated it like a commission. But then when I wanted to bring the piece home, then I had to make an area to suit the one
Yeah.
that I'd to replicate.
Yes.
So, and that's one that I always point out to people, that I like the fact that the shade's part of it.
Yeah.
Because you can see light coming through under the shade. And
Yes.
it's an interaction with the light.
Yeah.
Whereas if
Yes.
it just gets all day sun,
Yeah, absolutely nothing.
You miss
But
out on
also, the pressure of something onto the soil, and you've got soil underneath, you've got space for insects, worms and things to come to the top. Now it
That's right.
gives it a life.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's right. And I mean, they, like I say, they react with light. I like the way that they react from the shadow from
Yes.
the plant as well as the sunlight.
Yes. Well, one of the little things before we go outside, because we've got to go and have a look at the garden, you've got here your glass shelf and light coming through that. Must be a constant inspiration to you.
Well, it is. It is. Yeah, you know when you're running low on glass. That's for sure.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, it is. I mean, it's an interesting thing, and this is another thing that may have drawn me to the clear glass sculpture. You can certainly see all the clear glasses in this glass rack.
Yes.
You know, not many people would be able to recognise it. These are beautiful reds
Yeah.
and oranges and yellows, and you know, I can pull a piece of that glass out. At the moment, it looks like it's dark and colourless, but if I pull a piece out,
Yeah,
you can
you
actually
see that amber and yes.
Yeah. So they are all set out, so I know where they are. But yeah, there's all sorts. I mean, look, some you buy just because you just can't believe that it's glass, you know, and that's me.
Oh well, gosh.
So how's that for a piece of glass?
Yes. And how much harder is it to cut? Because it's got texture on it, both sides. How much harder to cut?
Well, not really any harder.
Yeah.
No. They an important thing about glass when they make it is the cuttability.
Yeah.
So they alter depending on the type of glass.
Yes.
They alter to their
Yes.
effect to suit. And a lot of it is, you know, it's belief.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of my sculptures, people say
Yes.
to me, "Oh, how could you ever do that? You know, all those pieces."
Yes.
And you ask them, "Could you do one?" And they said, "Yeah, well, just do one at a
No,
time."
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so it's the same thing when you're cutting a piece of glass like this. You just got to say, "Well,
Yes.
it's just another piece of glass."
Yes. Well, you're going to be starting pruning shortly in your garden, and the lesson of cutting glass also applies to the lesson of pruning. You stand back, look, plan where you're going to cut, and be very, very positive about the cut.
That sounds like good advice.
Yep, lovely. Well, we're going to go out into the garden when we come back and have a look at a few bits of glass. Shouldn't call them bits of glass.
Well, that's what they are.
Yes.
Bits of glass, you know.
Sculptures,
Yeah.
assemblages
That's right.
of glass, and see how they can enhance your garden.
AgriSentials fertilisers increase topsoil depth, carbon content, fertility, water retention, soil drainage, soil biology, minerals, and improve plant and animal and human health.
AgriSentials, makers of the best fertilisers on and for the earth. New Zealand farmers, the choice is yours.